Credit card fraud. I have to put my sandwiches in the air conditioning unit because we're not allowed to use their refrigerator. So ridiculous. You have to respect my house. Period.
Good evening, everybody. This is Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast. My name is Scott, and tonight I have the opportunity to speaking with XIW Extreme Impact Wrestling promoter and XIW champion. The promoter is the God Adrian Whisper. How you doing tonight?
Oh, you didn't know? It's me, the God.
Yes, sir. And we hear that stupid ass song tomorrow, or Saturday, don't we?
Don't hate it. I've made
that is
tons of money off.
That's a good song. I do like
money off of that song.
I wish it was on Sedge, actually, to be honest with you. Then we have
everybody would have it, and then it wouldn't be as wanted as much.
Just like you, right?
Exactly.
So then we have the XIW champion, current champion, and I must say the future champion, Jackson Slade. How you doing today, Jackson?
What's going on, man? How's it going?
It's going. I know that we're in a feud together, and I hope you guys can keep your shit together. And I'm glad that you got in the same room because I have a feeling Jackson would take care of the old man. Pretty simple, but we'll get there.
He got to keep his hands out of the Cheez-It box before he can do that.
At what moment, Jackson, did you realize you wanted to be a professional wrestler, man?
It's been there. I'd say probably about 8 or 9 years old. I mean, I've been around it all my life, but 8 or 9 years old is my first.
Proven to help clear skin and significantly reduce itch.
Now,
was any infection that would lower your ability to fight.
Was it watching your dad?
Treated for an infection, have TB, or have been in close contact with someone with TB.
Somebody has their TV on too loud.
Somebody is cutting out.
Yeah, I don't know if the TV's out. Yeah, you're cutting out, man. But Adrian, when was it when you first realized you wanted to be in wrestling?
Oh my goodness, are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
Man, I am like 50 something years old, and I got to think back that far. Shit.
Yeah, you're hillbilly.
I could say probably the first time that I had it set in my mind that I wanted to be a wrestler. I was whenever I was growing up at 11, 12, 13 years old, Mid-South Wrestling came on TV, Channel 13, local station at 12:30. Well, whoever got up first in the morning had control of the TV until 12:30. At 12:30, everybody lost control of it and wrestling was on. And I was watching Junkyard Dog, and I'm wanting to say it was oh my goodness, Buddy Landale wrestling each other. And it just captivated me. And I said, one of these days I'm going to grow up to be a wrestler if it kills me. One of the most far-fetched dreams that I ever thought would become reality.
Nice. So what was it like watching your dad start his career? And did that encourage you to start your career?
I mean, I didn't get to, I'm not old or wasn't old enough to remember him starting it. But, you know, at about 8 or 9, like I said, from remembering it is, you know, it always felt like he was the big star. So let me go ahead and blow his head up more than what it is. And so, you know, everywhere he went, he was the guy. And I don't believe it was by his design. It's because it was by, you know, his philosophy. He tried to steal the show no matter what. It got over for him and it worked. And, you know, so.
Has it been a dream of yours, Adrian, to have your son come up through the ranks and come into the business? And like tomorrow, Saturday, we're going to see you guys facing each other. Was it a dream that you would see your boy raised up like that and do wrestling like you?
I can't say that I really pushed for that, knowing what I did to myself over the 30 years I've been in this business and the sacrifices I made, you know what I'm saying, the money spent, the injuries, concussions. It's a hard business. You know what I'm saying? Everybody thinks it's all glitz and glamour, but it's not, you know what I'm saying? It's days away from your family and on the road and hurting and wishing that you wasn't hurting, you know what I'm saying? But he was always there. You know what I'm saying? He lived with me after my divorce with their mother and stuff. And he was on the road with me, went on the road with me. So it probably wasn't by my design. It was probably by wrestling's design that it was going to consume him one way or the other.
Now, later on in your career, Jackson, as your dad was wrestling, did you ever team up with your dad, or did you ever go against your dad before this that we're going to be talking about later on?
Yeah, actually, the first time, now correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the first time him and I actually tagged together was in Odessa, Texas, at the Odessa Coliseum. He wasn't himself, he was another character.
I was wrestling as Doink the Clown for IWF Wrestling. I did Doink the Clown for them and wrestled as myself also.
Okay. And, we tagged there. There was about there was a lot of names on that card, and there was a slight handful of indie talent, and I got lucky enough to be on it. But that was the first time we got
the best of the best of the best in the independent circuit.
Yeah.
And, as far as working against him, I've done that quite a few times, 4 shows and just for shits and giggles. So, and I mean, yeah. So this is definitely not the first rodeo.
So is this the most intense rodeo?
Well,
because I'm telling you, this storyline from the get-go pissed me off, but I liked it. That's sick. I know it's sick, but it pissed me off, but I liked it, and that's why I keep on coming back, because I love this.
Y'all want to talk about me dropping F-bombs? You were so mad you was dropping a few yourself, so miss me with that bullshit.
I was, but I didn't get cut off the mic either, bro.
But no, I don't know. Maybe not the most intense yet. I mean, you don't know where all this is going to go, or right. What may happen. I mean, we were I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago when he had his last match, which happened to be me. We were tagging, and then he turned on me, surprise, surprise. And
Hacker, woo, newsflash.
If you remember John,
good guys finish last. When are you gonna learn that with your thick-headed self?
Never.
If you remember John Saxon, the one who finished announcing that night, that him and Mr. Knockout Artist came out and interrupted mine and Damian Wayne's match. John Saxon, actually, I was in a heated rivalry with him at the time.
Okay.
I was doing a different character, called The Professional. It was an old school American mass wrestling character like Mr. Wrestling. And so they thought it was a smart idea to bring my dad in to kind of kickstart my charismatic self. And because they wasn't letting me, they were trying to control how I did the character. They wouldn't let me do it how I wanted to do it. Right. And, which I wanted to be more of how my dad did it when I was a kid, because he also did the same character. And I told myself if I ever got big enough, I would want to do it, because I fell in love with that type of character. And so that happened. They didn't want me to do it, or wouldn't let me do it how my dad did it. So of course they threw me into something. I'm not an actor. So right. It was very hard for me to grasp. So they brought him in to, kind of
bring out the inner professional.
Now, do you have reign over what you do, what your character is now? Do you have the say, or does this jabroni down here have the say?
No, actually, that's the glory with the silver lining in John Saxon's retirement, because I ended up actually turning on my dad on his last match whenever he wanted to give his farewell speech. And
so everybody wants to talk about me being a dumbass,
but asked and started doing the Metal Riot Gods, I believe is what it was called at the time, and with John Saxon and Ryan O'Shun. And once again, that wasn't me. It was, you know, they were throwing me into something to try to make me more, I guess, animated or whatnot.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I mean, I was getting back into the business at the time, and I was learning
he was one-dimensional.
I was learning how to wrestle as a big guy, because whenever I left the business, I was 185 pounds. And when I came back, I was 250. So it was a complete, culture shock for me. But anyway, off that tangent, whenever John Saxon retired and I finally started hitting the road by myself and didn't have, a shadow over me or someone watching, I just kind of started developing, bringing who I am as a person in my everyday life into that life, and kind of taking my dad and everybody's advice. Your best character is going to be you. Right. You just have to amplify that. So right. That's basically what I've been doing, and it's been working for me. So
Adrian, do you have any remarks about that? What he just said? Is there anything you want to follow up with that? Was he accurate?
Pretty much that I could say they wanted him to be more of a baby face character with the professional gimmick, and he never really had to do that when he was wrestling before as a cruiserweight, because he did so many outstanding things in the ring. His wrestling spoke for itself. So he commanded the crowd without even having to gesture to them, and they just bought into everything. And then when he was gone for 5, 6, 7 years, and then comes back like he ate 2 people, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You go from doing backflips and moonsaults and all that to kicking and punching and being a heavy guy. The character that I did, the professional, was based after Leon Baxter. Paul Bearer's, that was one of his heroes back in the day. And he blessed me with that gimmick, the professional. Leon Baxter was called the Wrestling Pro. So they started calling me the professional. And my character in that whole thing was real slow, real methodical, and I wrestled. I beat you wrestling. I outsmarted you wrestling. And he wanted to do that part of the character, but they didn't want him to. They wanted him to be the big baby, big heel guy. And it just blew his mind at one point until he got out on his own. And like he said, made that character an extension of who he is.
Gotcha. So I read somewhere that you and, am I right? You, Adrian, and Jackson, you guys not write the matches or storylines, but you guys both work together on that part behind the scene. Is that accurate?
It's a collaboration of several people. Okay. Not just myself. We have a creative team. Okay. That everything is ran by. I come up with a formula. We send it out to everybody. Everybody collaborates on it, and we come up with one final trajectory at the end. And it's one of the stories that we think is gonna be able to put everybody in that running for that best match of the night bonus.
So you're like a Vince, huh?
Oh yeah.
You don't spend your money like him, do you?
Oh no, I'm very frugal.
There you go. Nice. In the indie industry, I mean, XIW, when did it start? When did you guys birth XIW?
Oh, it was in North Carolina, probably in 2003, 2004. I was living in Virginia, and Virginia had a real strict commission, so we didn't want to run in that state. So we went into North Carolina, and it was semi owned by someone else, a guy named Steve Miatico with NWA. He merged with NWA Virginia down there, and once he pulled apart, he wanted to start XIW back up. So I was, like I am now, the money man that made everything possible.
Nice. So were you part of that then, Jackson?
No, I wasn't part of. I was a little too young then.
All right.
I mean, but as far as I was always doing something. Whenever it came to his shows, I was always slinging the ring and setting up chairs, taking it down, and
All right.
tearing the building apart, doing my part that I could do.
Paying the dues.
A lot of people I talk to, talent-wise, that's what they say. They say that they start tearing it down, setting it up, tearing it down, setting it up, paying the dues as you will. Is that a normal thing for up and coming wrestlers in all the industries, or is it just?
It should be. I can't say it is nowadays. I mean, there's a lot of it's a lot different. I guess I can't say my generation.
A lot of fucking Karens.
Because my generation is there's no more. They're all fake tough guys, and
Wow.
I was brought up around real tough guys, and
they wouldn't have made it in our era.
I was, I don't know if you've seen the promo I cut on Johnny, the very first one I cut, where I was talking about how Damian Wayne and
Next to the picture,
they were kicking my ass in the ring. I mean, they were kicking my ass. I was, I couldn't participate in PE because my neck was cocked like this for 3 days. And, I didn't get it. I got it twice as hard as everyone else just because of who I was. And I didn't get it handed to me. And then it got worse when I got down here because, I grew up with John Saxon as well. And he's one of the best hands in the Gulf Coast. Well, he was before he retired. And, once I started traveling with him, everybody thinks, how he's getting this because of Saxon. So I got it. He's just like my dad. So I got it rough and they didn't pull any punches.
so you were the guy that comes into the arena or the backstage, and everybody got on you because you were dad. You had that name or stuff like that. Is that what you're saying? You got treated like?
I wouldn't necessarily say they would. At least they didn't do it to my face.
Right.
They didn't say nothing because I've always done my best to I guess stay humble about the situation, or whenever someone tries to say, oh well, he's the guy here, I mean, I don't want to be the guy.
Right.
I mean, I love being one of the boys.
Right.
The spot I'm in is not because I wanted to put myself there or anybody wanted to put myself there. It's just, I mean,
where the fans have put it.
Right. So Jackson, if you had a dream match, one dream match, what would it be? Who would it be and where would it be?
A dream match. That would be with either Benoit or Guerrero.
Okay.
Where I wouldn't care either of the.
How about you, old man? I know I just watched Ric Flair's last match. I know you're not 77. I know you're a little farther from that. But if you had to have one last match, a dream match, who would it be against and where?
I wouldn't say it would be a dream match. It would be the best match of the night, and that would be with Jackson Slade to whoop his ass, because every time we wrestled each other, we've always stole the show. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
It's the chemistry that we have. We might have heat right now, but at the end of the day, when we get in that ring, it's all about real fight shit. When I punch that son of a bitch, I'm going to punch him as hard as I can. I'm going to try to make him bleed. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's just bottom line. And you've got to be able to suspend those people's disbelief for at least 15 seconds. If you can't do that, then you can't control that crowd. And when we go out there and me and Slade step in that ring, those people by the end of the night are going to sit there and look at each other and say, holy shit, did they just really beat the shit out of each other? Or what just happened? You know what I'm saying? That's professional wrestling.
So if it would be a fair statement in 30 years, what do you want? What do you hope people will say about you guys? Would that be a fair statement that you'd want them to say, we put on real fight shit?
Well, The only stigma, and this is going right back to a question you just previously asked, Jackson, was did he get any stigma from being Adrian Whisper's son? The only stigma that fell upon him was in 30 more years, 30 years ago. It doesn't matter what time it was, in the future, in the past, in the present. I've always been real fight shit. I was that guy that went out there and whooped your ass. I was that guy whenever we went out partying at the bars and somebody wanted to start shit, I was the one ending the shit. You know what I'm saying? Slade has seen me knock people out at shows. I mean, pure fans that just crossed the line, put them to sleep and wake them up, punching them in the face. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's always real fight shit with me. You know what I mean? This has been my life for 30 plus years now. I've lost marriages over this. I've lost brain cells. I've lost memories. If it weren't for Facebook, I wouldn't even remember on my own kids' birthdays.
I don't think I would either, man. So don't feel bad. So
yeah, but mine's due to chairs to the head syndrome.
That's right. I got one of them back in the back.
Yeah, right.
I don't know if it went across your head, but it went across his head for sure.
Oh yeah, and that won't be the first. It won't be the last. Bet that.
Well, I bet that. I get that.
The first one actually knocked me out on my feet when I was 11. So yeah.
He knocked you out. So it started way back when you're 11.
Yeah. 11 years old. He wrestled his first match. He wrestled his first live match in a battle royal. He was so baby face looking that we had to put him under a mask, and we put him under one of the jobbers masks called the Yellow Hornet. And he went out there and portrayed this as being this other guy to a T that people really didn't know it was him. And at 11 years old, he was as big and not bigger than some of the guys on the main roster. So he started his career at 11. But yeah, he his first chair shot to the head. We sold the whole locker room out before a wrestling event one night. We was in the ring working a match, me and Slade was, and we wrestled for about 12, 15 minutes, and he goes to hit his finish, and I kick out his finish and throw him to the outside. I tell him to come back in, feed the chair shot, and take another one. Whenever I gave him the first chair shot, he was out cold on his feet. It was funny.
So your
funny
dad
as all get out.
Your dad was being mean to you back then.
Where I come from, builders.
Yeah.
You know, like I tell my kids all the time, my dad kicked my ass so bad that can't nobody kick my ass now. So
true, and we're seeing that because no one's kicked your ass in the last 2 events. I'm just saying.
Until Saturday with the old school rules, baby.
That's what you said the last time your stupid phone cut off on me. You were trying to tell me that last time, but I'm telling you, I was in the second row of the first event, the first row of the second event, and you failed miserably those 2 events. I'm just saying.
Hey, sometimes you got to break a few eggs to make an omelet. I'm not through cooking.
You see, he throws out the old school rules gimmick, and you know, he can't throw punches with that old school rule. So, I mean, well, we'll see what he can pull out of his repertoire. So,
I mean, you mentioned cooking. You did look good in that cafeteria last event. I'm just saying.
Hey, I was making money, baby. It doesn't matter. I got paid and didn't do nothing but serve some hot dogs. I was the highest paid concession guy in the building.
What can fans expect this Saturday when they come out to see XIW event?
Well, one thing's for sure, when they leave the building, they're going to know that they just seen the best wrestling show in the area on this coast. We've got the ladies match. Savannah is defending her woman's title against Cassandra Golden, a newcomer to XIW. Real tough chick, man. She's going to give Savannah Thorne a run for her money. We've got State Line versus the Unprofessionals. And this is a rivalry that's been going on for over a year now. You know what I'm saying? And it's sooner or later going to have to come to a head. And they've drew blood just like Slade and I've drew blood. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's going to be a match to watch. You got Malik Avalon taking on Zach Mosley. You know what I'm saying? Zach's been skating his way through this since December. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what's going to happen? All I know is during a 2 out of 3 falls match, and the first person to get the first pin gets to state the stipulation for the second fall. Whoever wins that fall gets to state the stipulation for the final fall. So that's a potential show stealer match right there for the night. Bet that.
Absolutely.
Then Chase Stevens is making his XIW debut, man, from TNA, Ring of Honor, WWE. He's done it all. You know what I'm saying? And awesome stand-up guy. He's going to come in and he's going to kick some ass. We have Pepper Bottom. You know what I mean? Pepper Bottom's been trying to get in on my good side since he's been there. And I'll give you one thing. The kid has got some balls. That's for sure. He has went out there and got his butt whooped, and he keeps coming back, and he's starting to grow on me, but he's got his one last chance to win a match if he wants to think about joining my group called the 7 Stiffs, which is going to be the 7 baddest guys on the planet. You know what I'm saying? Then you have Bordell Walker's going to be there. We have the technical alchemist, David Mercury, making his debut at XIW. So there's a lot of things popping. You know what I'm saying? Big things popping with XIW, and it's only going to get better from here. December is Chaos in the Cage. All titles will be defended in a steel cage in December. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
So everything is building up to a big blow off in December, and we're fixing to see what everybody's about, man.
Is Tiger King going to be there? I hope not.
Nah, he's got to be there, man. He's the middleweight title,
He's the joke.
Yeah, but hey, he was trained by Robert Gibson of the Rock and Roll Express, man, and that kid can go.
He can. No, I'm not saying. I just think his gimmick is long ass hair with his funky shorts.
Hey, he's got the $1 million mullet.
Yeah, there you go.
He's got the $100 mullet.
So, like I said, I have some dirt. I went seeking out, questioning some people. And I got some group of questions. Adrian, who is Daddy Rabbit Jr.?
Daddy Rabbit Jr. That'd be my boy. Oh, that'd be my boy, Primetime Cameron Thomas.
Elaborate on that, man.
He's been working with me. He's going through a little transition between jobs, so I've been helping him with me, work with me to keep some cash flow going. And it's just one of those things, you know what I'm saying? I always called myself Daddy Rabbit. Whenever my kids would get out of line, I'd look at them and tell them Daddy Rabbit's fixing to whoop your ass. That's all I'm going to tell you. Right. So Cam said he and I was a mold that was broke, and we were probably family members in another life or something. So he's Daddy Rabbit Jr. now.
Nice. So
he's just your ass to stay on your good side is all.
Yeah, that's what
they're trying to get back on my good side.
Yeah, he wasn't on your good side last event. He's the one to get kicked out, correct? Or no, or was that Justin?
That was freaking Gooberhead Water Justin, Justin Water Overstreet.
So Cameron was the one that started chicken shit chant.
Yeah.
Are you still engaged?
I don't shit like a chicken.
Are you still engaged in that title? And I guess we'll wait and see this Saturday if that statement stands, right? Are you going to be a chicken shit? Are you going to grow some balls and go against your son?
Hey, I've stepped in the ring with him many a times. This time ain't going to be no different. But just remember this. Just remember this. Daddy Rabbit taught everything Jackson knows, but I didn't teach him everything I know. You see what I'm saying? And I might have dropped the bomb in releasing Johnny Knockout from his contract with XIW as my henchman, my hired gun. But understand this, without any uncertainty, I've always got an ace up my sleeve. And my new hired gun is 6'8", 280 pounds. And if he can't get the job done, ain't nothing gonna happen. Ha ha ha. Remember that. 6'8", 280 pounds.
Hey, Jack, are you afraid of that?
No, man, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. Yeah, ain't that the cliche saying?
That's the cliche saying for sure. Next question I have is,
And the
why-
bigger his hands are wrapped around your neck, the quicker you gonna go sleep.
I hope it's not Samson, that guy that left you hanging to go to some stupid meet and greet over in Tallahassee or
If he's
Jacksonville.
talking about hand sizes, it can't be Samson. We call him baby hand Samson.
Okay, all right.
No,
Mr.
we'll just call him the collector.
Why are you a chicken shit, Adrian? When did you start being such a chicken shit? That's a question that another guy that you know so well asked that question.
He's not gonna get on my good side with questions like that. That's all I'm gonna say.
Would you ever try being anything other than a big chicken shit? I mean, come on. You're challenging your boy. You showed up with a hired henchman because obviously you didn't have the balls to do it yourself the first time. Then the second time.
I didn't challenge him. I was forced by the acting commissioner to wrestle him on this next show. I'd have been fine. I'd have been fine with him wrestling somebody else. I could have just watched them whoop his ass instead of me having to do it again.
All I hear is a bunch of talking.
He fails to mention how his last match with me went. So
is that did the last match that you had with him? Did you take the title away from him? Is that why this is such a big deal?
no, it wasn't. It wasn't a title match. It was a career versus mask match when I was under a mask, and that night he drew the short end of the stick. So,
And you sent your dad packing, is what you're saying.
sent him packing. That's right.
I'm just saying.
Hey, every dog has to be put out in the pasture every once in a while, but that don't mean that dog don't sit out there, lick those wounds, start running that pasture, getting his ass back in shape before he sits back up on that porch. You see what I'm saying?
I understand that. I understand that, but the chicken shit questions come from, I was told to say this, from someone anonymous. So you figure that out.
Yeah, we know who Mr. Anonymous is.
Jackson, this one's for you. Why do you feel the need to teach your dad a lesson?
I don't really feel the need to teach him a lesson. So, it's just you stick your nose in someone's business so much. You just, you want to get your hands on someone regardless of their active status or not. And
Absolutely. I understand that. So I guess I can serve that to Adrian. I'd like to hear what you have to say. Why, Adrian, over the last several months has it been have you been less of a dad and more of a why do you have to try to prove to everybody else that you're better or whatever to your son, that you have to have that title? And if that's the case, if you have to have that title, why can't you, up until you were forced, as you said a little bit ago, to have a match with him, why did you have to bring hired hands? Why couldn't you take care of business before? Instead of using all your antics that you use and pull whatever you need to pull to try to win. And like I said, I was at the first one that you tried to do that at, and you and your boy Johnny Knockout failed. I was at the second one, and then you got your ass, and then the last time I was there, you got your ass knocked out by Johnny Knockout, and you failed that miserably because he's still the champion, and you're still here running your mouth about, oh, I'm going to beat him. I don't believe that.
Why do I have to be the bad dad? Because I'm teaching him life lessons. Okay. In real life, good guys finish last. That's just plain and simple, especially in the wrestling business. You understand?
In my life,
sometimes, hold on, don't cut me off. You told me not to cut you off, so you don't cut me off, goddamn it. All right. Now look, plain and simple, plain and simple. There's always going to be a snake in the grass. You always hear that you keep your friends close and your enemies closer. That's furthest from the truth in the wrestling business, my friend. You keep your enemies close, but you keep your friends closer, because your friends are the last one that you think are going to fuck you over and over and over, but they do because they get away with it and they think it's funny. So I'm teaching him life lessons that once I'm gone, he can teach same lessons. And that's, you don't trust no damn body, and you win at any cost. If he would have followed my game plan when he wrestled Damian Wayne for that AIWF World Championship the first time, he would be the world champion now. But no, he wanted to do it right for the fans. At the end of the day, the fans ain't paying his bills, and his pay window didn't go up. It stayed the same because he didn't want to conform to the plans. So what do? You just take that dog out in the pasture and you whoop his ass. So me and Knockout took him in the pasture and whooped his ass. Plain and simple. Why does that make me the bad dad?
Some of us would agree. Some of us would disagree with you. You might have took your son to the pasture, tried to whoop his ass, and you tried to beat him up. But again, I'm going to point out, and Jackson's sitting right here, he is still standing. He is still, every event came out the XIW champion, and therefore you didn't finish what you said you would. And what I'm going by is good guys finish last. No, I teach my kids that I take care of. You got to be good to get the prize. And that's probably where Jackson's at. I hope that's where Jackson teaches his kids. Yes, good guys will finish first. Yes, we get bumps and bruises, but we stand up exactly like he does every freaking event. He stands up tough. He comes over. He comes in with the title, and he beats your ass, and he tosses your goons all over the ring, and he wins. So good guys win, man.
It happens. It happens. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. You know what I'm saying? It's not about the W at the end of the night.
0-2. 0-2.
It's not about the W. It's about the lesson learned. And in the end, I am the puppet master, and he will conform to what I want in the end. If he don't, it'll be the end of him, plain and simple.
What do you say to hush this?
Well, it's a long-standing thing in my family. We're all stubborn, so it's going to take a whole lot more than Johnny gets knocked out in a folding chair to, beat a message into my head. Because I got a thick skull, as he likes to say. So
I got a question for, again, Adrian, from one of your guys. How does it feel to get punked out by the commissioner, the Black Diamond, Sean Nick?
Seen Nick.
Okay. How's it get? But still, Sean Nick, seen Nick. You got punked out by him. How's it feel? It don't matter what his name is. You got punked out.
I feel a little chafed, a little violated. But hey, at the end of the day, like I said, I was the highest paid concession person in the building.
So you can take this up with him. I don't care, however you want to take it. But he told me a couple of days ago that he feels you're not man enough to face him in a tag match in, let's say October.
I'm not man enough to face who?
Mr. Nick.
Oh, get out of here.
That's what he said. That's exactly from the horse's mouth, bro.
Don't make me bend him over and treat him like the little person that he is.
I'm just saying. I ask for questions. I ask for people to give me dirt, and that's the dirt I got, man.
Okay.
Mr. Commissioner doesn't feel you're man enough to beat him or even challenge him to a tag match. He's even giving you a chance to have a partner, man.
Tell Scene to just keep dreaming. Keep dreaming. He ain't got enough money to produce that match. If he wants to pay for that match, yeah, I'll give him one. But he ain't got enough money in his pockets to pull me and my partner together to whoop their ass. I'm just saying.
Hey, Jackson, how are you and your partner, Damian Wayne, getting ready for the battle at Killing Fields? Do you have a prediction?
I do my everyday thing, man. Go to the gym, train hard, and I'm trying to cut weight, and I'm actually gaining weight. So that's terrible for the opponent. So as far as Wayne, I couldn't tell you. We don't stay in constant contact, and he's a busy guy. I'm a busy guy, and so I let him do his thing. He's had more run-ins with my dad than I have in a ring, so he knows.
You know what? I'm gonna make a prediction right here. I'm gonna bet you both my balls, and I've had my balls my whole life, and I like my balls. I'm going to bet both my balls that Wayne chickens out and don't even make it to the show because he knows the ass whooping I've done gave him over a 3 or 4 year period, and he ain't ready for that. So I'm going to bet my balls he leaves you high and dry.
So Jackson, in that case, if that's the prediction, or is that a spoiler, Mr. Whisper, or is that a prediction?
That's what I thinking is gonna happen because I done whooped Wayne's ass way more many times than I've whooped Ashton's or Jackson Slade's ass. You hear me? So Wayne's done lost a lot of blood at the hands of myself and my inner demon Marcocious. You see what I'm saying?
Well,
so Wayne don't want that. Wayne don't want that. He's old, just like me, but he ain't in no good shape like I am, man. I'm at my prime, my peak, and I am ready to destroy some shit. And Wayne don't want that. Wayne's gonna chicken out.
So Jackson, your dad says, Daddy, little Daddy Hillbilly over here, says that Yee's prediction is that Wayne's gonna leave you high and dry. He says he has a trick up his sleeve. Mr. Whisper says that. Do you have a backup plan in case Daddy's right?
No, not really, because I don't see it being that way. I've known Wayne a long time, and I don't see him backing down. So,
hey, you want to put your pay up against it? Your pay against my pay?
My pay or his pay? You talking to me?
I'm talking to him.
Okay.
Since he's got so much faith in Damian Wayne, the unpredictable one.
Hey,
put your pay up against my pay. I
told
know y'all boys, but I done whooped his ass more than yours. He don't want that no more.
I told you when I was 9 years old, when I lost that bet on Mike Tyson, I don't make bets no more.
That's the truth, right? I learned that a long time ago too.
And that's a shoot.
So Adrian,
yeah,
why are you so jealous of Slade? Is it because he holds the XIW title? I mean, when was the last title you held, my friend? Has it been a long time ago? Is that why you hate seeing your boys succeed? What's the problem?
Why would any father hate seeing their own offspring succeed? That's ludicrous.
You present that.
That's ludicrous. I'm always proud of the accomplishments that he makes. I do not like the decisions that he makes because for every action, there is an equal or greater reaction. And I am the greater reaction to his actions. And bottom line is, if he would have did what I told him to do when he wrestled Wayne for that first AIWF World Champion, he'd be champion right now, but he didn't. So this has nothing to do with me being jealous. It has. I have held more titles. I have held more titles than that boy could think of. So there's not any jealousy in my body. like I said, at the end of the day, it's about teaching him a lesson, a life lesson that he will carry with him to his grave.
Time out, because last April, if that's what you're talking about, he had his chance to win the AIWF. If I remember right, you had Mr. JKO so far up your butt that you had to, you cost your son the AIWF championship.
Why? Because he wouldn't take the nooks and knock his ass out.
Because
So-
he